Welcome to the Make and Design Podcast. I'm your host, Carina Gardner. On this podcast, we're unraveling the everyday joys and dilemmas of design, making, and business. For makers who want to be designers and for designers who are makers, this is your inside scoop to help you grow your business and bring more creativity to your life.
Hey guys, hopping on today. If you're on the YouTube channel, you probably have seen that I've actually moved around. Usually I have you guys in my studio, but the last, during September, I've kind of moved around a little bit so you guys can see some of the, I'm just finding another spot. And actually I've been loving the couch because it's just so comfortable. I've been needing to move away from my desk for these things. So I love that you're here with me. If you're on the YouTube channel or the Make and Design podcast, which both of these are on. If you like one, make sure and subscribe. And if you want to see me on either or, please subscribe. I think it's fun to be able to talk to you guys and for you guys to see me on camera and see what I look like and how I'm like moving my arms around because I can't stop, because I'm so excited about what I'm talking about. And if you are on the podcast is just extremely convenient because it's on the go, right? So you can easily listen to it while you're in the car or picking up kids or whatever in the hopes that you can move forward as a designer. So today we're actually digging into negative space. So usually I'm talking to you guys about strategies and about business, but today I just wanted to talk to you about negative space because I don't think we talk about it enough as designers. We're so fixed on creating the flowers in our patterns, creating the silhouettes of whatever we're creating, that we're not spending a lot of time talking about shape. And recently I was talking to a couple of my designers and showing them the process of how I designed a damask. So this damask for Ciao Bella, which is coming out in November, by the way, you guys. So if you love fabric, make sure and check out Ciao Bella. It's coming out in November and it will be in shops everywhere. But the damask, it started out and there was it was like pointier and it kind of ended in a teardrop. And it felt really, the form felt a little bit jagged and strong. And the actual individual elements I was unconcerned about. I was more trying to create the shape for the outside. And that's where the negative space really became important. And as I kept developing it, when you see all the different stages of it, the thing that is so crazy about it is that you can see, the end Ciao Bella piece, what it ended up as. And we'll try to put up a picture here for you guys to see, what the end piece ended up. And maybe, so if you're on the YouTube channel, if you're on the podcast, you're gonna have to hop over to the YouTube channel, but I'll have us put up so you can see you won't see all the things that happened in between, but where it started and where it ended. And so many times designers get stuck somewhere in the middle with their negative space because they're not paying attention to the actual form and all the intricacies within that negative space and form. And really a lot of this comes from great mentorship. If you're getting critiques all the time on your work, then you're gonna start seeing all of those negative spaces a little more clearly. But the other thing you can do is just keep experimenting with shape. Shape matters more than just about anything in design. If you can start really creating wonderful shapes, even your shapes of maybe your roses or your flowers, the outside shape is actually the most important because your eye is drawn to it and you're kind of paying attention to that. And then when you're actually coming in and changing all of the layers in it, to make it look like a flower, those shapes are interesting. And I really talk about Gestalt theory, which is in my Design on Fire class in my Design Suite program, because I think Gestalt theory is a lot of how we think about and see those closed shapes and how they work together. And that's just great design theory. So negative space is more important than you think. And this is mostly a reminder today to pay attention to the negative shapes that you're using in your design work. You'll notice if you're a fabric collector or you're a scrapbooking collector, pay attention to not what's to the forefront on the papers that are in your studio or your crafting space. Go pay attention to what is happening where there's nothing going on. Those are the shapes that really become interesting because if they are messed up or too jagged or they don't fit nicely, we actually see them and it feels discordant to us. But when they're clean, they're balanced, and they're scaled correctly, they feel so awesome. These are the kinds of things we talk about in Design Suite, by the way, especially in our mentor meetings with me, except for the difference is we're actually looking at a piece and we're able to, and it's usually someone in the program, it's their piece, and we're looking at it and figuring out how to make it look better. That's, to me, that's the real value of a program like mine, because at the end of the day, if you, like, you've heard what I just said in theory, but if you actually had someone look at your piece and go, there's an issue here, and let's move something here, and let's move this here, and look at the space and what it looks like now, and see how much better this is. Those are things that are difficult to do on your own, especially if you are someone who learned how to do this on your own, that you are getting if you're in a mentorship situation like my Design Suite program, where I am constantly looking at your work, making sure it's working together, making sure that it becomes really what you want it to become, which is next level, best design work, balanced, clean, and of course, we want it to be interesting and different than everything else out there. So hopefully that helps. I really hope you're spending some time looking at your negative space. And by the way, if you are either on my YouTube channel or my podcast, will you do me a favor and will you leave me a review if you're on the podcast? And if you're on the YouTube channel, will you subscribe to the channel? I do this completely for free in the hopes that you will learn how to become a better designer.
Hey, did you know that you can visit me at makeanddesign.com to learn more about this podcast and join my VIP group for weekly freebies? I can't wait to see you there.